Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Monday Night Raw broadcast live on the USA Network from the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The show saw new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions crowned in the main event, as Becky Lynch and Lita joined forces to defeat Io Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control when Lita pinned Sky in 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Trish Stratus made her return to Raw during the match, coming down to ringside to help even out the odds by neutralizing Bayley of Damage Control. Stratus then celebrated with the new champs Lita and Lynch to close the show.
Does Lita now have one more shot left? Bayley up rapidly, trying to thwart the efforts. Trish Stratus is helping out now. Straight to the chick kick. Down goes Bayley. Dakota Kai. Becky Lynch now to help out. Kai neutralized by the man. Make a little more history, Lita. Lita sold. Hooks the leg for the championship. She got it.
The victory ended the second reign of Sky and Kai at 114 days and marked the first tag team title win for both Lita and Lynch. The match was also Lita's first since Elimination Chamber in February of 2022, and the first title she's held since losing the WWE Women's Championship to Mickie James at the 2006 Survivor Series. In the opening match of the show, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa defeated the Street Profits when Sikoa pinned Angelo Dawkins. Uso and Sikoa continued to attack the Street Profits after the match, but Kevin Owens made the save, attacking both Bloodline members.
Wait! Kevin Owens! Out of nowhere! The prize fighter Kevin Owens! Stunner! Kevin Owens with a hit and run! He swore he will take down the Bloodline. One by one, all on his own. Kevin Owens is a man of his word tonight on Monday Night Raw. But this ain't over yet, not by a long shot.
In interview segments held during the show, Brock Lesnar agreed during MVP's VIP lounge to face Omos at WrestleMania, while Seth Rollins called out Logan Paul while being a guest on Miz TV, challenging Paul to show up to confront him next week. In other results, Cody Rhodes defeated Chad Gable, Bobby Lashley beat Elias by submission, Johnny Gargano pinned Otis, Candice LeRae went over Piper Niven, and Asuka defeated Carmella. Following her victory, Asuka called out Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, her opponent for WrestleMania. In ratings news, SmackDown viewership held steady with last Friday's episode, which drew an audience of 2.408 million to Fox, according to Showbuzz Daily. That total is comparable to the previous week's 2.383 million. In the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic, the rating was 0.62, translating to 813,000 viewers, and up nearly 7% from the previous week's 0.58 key demo rating, according to WrestleNomics. The episode came in first place on network TV for the evening in the key demographic. After a week of being preempted for the NBA, Rampage returned to its typical viewership with last Friday's episode, which drew an audience of 409,000 to TNT, according to Showbuzz Daily. The rating in the key demographic was 0.11, which translates to 138,000 viewers, according to WrestleNomics. The episode ranked at number 30 for the evening on cable TV in the key demo. In more WWE news, the company officially announced yesterday that next Saturday's house show at the Coca-Cola Coliseum in Toronto will feature a rematch between WWE Undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, who challenged him a week and a half ago at the Elimination Chamber event in Montreal. The match was originally scheduled to be a tag team encounter pitting Reigns and Solo Sikoa against Zayn and Kevin Owens, but the lineup has been changed, with Zayn now challenging Reigns and Owens facing Sikoa in another singles match on the card. The newly scheduled match would be Roman Reigns' first Universal title defense at an untelevised event since last September, when he faced AJ Styles in Vancouver. No World Championship in WWE has changed hands at a house show since Kevin Diesel Nash beat Bob Backlund for the WWF World title at Madison Square Garden in 1994. In All Elite Wrestling news, AEW and Vicky Guerrero will be parting ways according to a report yesterday from Fightful Select. AEW will not be renewing Guerrero's contract, which is set to expire in July. Vicky, the widow of Eddie Guerrero, has been part of AEW as a manager and guest commentator since December 2019, 5 years after leaving WWE to pursue a degree in healthcare administration. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.